I saw the movie, I have seen the movie. I worked, I have worked. What's the difference between these sentences? Well, if you're familiar with English, you might have recognized that we have two different tenses, the past simple and the present perfect. I've shown you these four sentences because these two tenses are often confused, and it's pretty easy to understand why. They have many similarities, however, they also have many differences. And the differences are very important because it does change the meaning of what you're trying to say. So today we're going to compare and contrast the past simple and the present perfect. The first thing we're going to look at is the idea of time with these two tenses. So the biggest similarity between the past simple and the present perfect is that they both talk about past actions. So let's look at that first example again. I saw a movie and I have seen a movie. From our general understanding, we know that both of these events happened in the past. However, there's something very important that really separates the two, and that is how specific you are. You see, with the past simple, we can be specific about when something happens. As an example, I saw the movie yesterday. But when we look at the present perfect, by the laws of English, you do not indicate exactly when something happens. As an example, I can't say I have seen the movie yesterday. Grammatically speaking, and again, by the laws of English, this is incorrect. So the present perfect is about past actions with unspecified time. But we do understand that the action is complete. I'll get to why we say complete later. So let's look at one more example. So if I talk about myself, I can say I have lived in Moscow. Do we know when I lived in Moscow from that sentence? No. All we know is that in the past, I lived there. Do I live there now? No, I don't. I'm back in the United States. So it's a completed action, but we don't know when exactly. But if I want to be more specific, I can say I lived in Moscow in 2015. Wave to the camera, Claire. Yeah! Now, if you're panicking or you're feeling a little confused, don't worry. We have keywords that can help us identify if we should use the past simple or if we should use the present perfect. We refer to these keywords as time markers. And time markers basically indicate a time in the sentence. So if we think about the past simple, we're going to think about specific times. And some of these time markers can be days of the week, on Monday, on Tuesday, on the weekend, anything related to time, at 1 o'clock, at 2 o'clock, at midnight. When we use words like yesterday or the day before yesterday. And finally, anytime you have the word last or ago in your sentence. As an example, last year, last month, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. Now, if you ever get stuck, you can remember these time markers and then you'll know I should use the past simple here. When you have the time markers already, yet, still, ever, and never, these indicate the present perfect. But I want to put a small disclaimer. So these time markers, already, yet, never, etc., are indicators that we're supposed to use the present perfect. However, in American English, the English I speak, these time markers can also be used with the past simple. But that's for another video. Okay, wait. Now, you're probably saying, oh my God, Kareem, that's so much information. Let's take a time out. Let's breathe in. Let's breathe out. And if you're enjoying this video, please hit that like button to show me a little bit of love. And if you want more awesome English content, you gotta hit that subscribe button. Now, let's breathe in again. Breathe out. Let's get back to it. Now let's examine the second reason why we use the present perfect. And arguably, this is probably the most confusing part of the present perfect. You see, the present perfect can connect past events to current or future situations. So let's look back at two examples from the beginning. I worked here and I've worked here for 2 years. Let's add that part. In the first sentence, I've worked here, without the time, all this does is tell the listener that I, in the past, had a job at this company. There's no indicator that I am still at this job. We just know I've had the experience. Now, by adding for plus time, this now brings that past event to the current time. Now, the present perfect, when it refers to actions that begin in the past and continue until now, or possibly the future, also has time markers. Now, you've already seen the time marker for 2 years. 4 is one of those time markers that represent duration. At the same time, we can also use the time marker all, but there is a difference. 4 is used with numbers. For 2 years, for 1 day, for 1 month. However, all is used with just the noun. No number is necessary. In fact, it's wrong to use a number. Let's see some examples. Let's look at 4. I've worked there for 2 years. I've worked there for a week. But when we use all, I've worked here all day. I've worked on the project all week. Our final time marker that we would use is since. Since is special because it shows the starting point of when this event or situation happened. And the word since implies that the event is ongoing and happening at this moment. So when I say I've lived in New York since 2020, when did I start living there? 2020. Do I still live there now? Yes. Okay, now that we've seen some differences between the present perfect and the past simple, I have an activity for you. I want you to complete the following sentences using the past simple or the present perfect. In some situations, both answers can be correct. So take a minute, pause the video, complete the task. And when you're ready, unpause and we'll check our answers. So what do you think? Is the present perfect still as confusing as it was at the beginning of the lesson? God, I hope not. We still have more practice and more lessons with the present perfect in the future. If you found this video difficult, maybe because you're unfamiliar with the past simple, you can check out my video about the past simple by clicking the link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. And if you want more awesome English content, don't forget to subscribe because we upload videos every Friday when it's not a holiday. Oh, and if you want even more English, you can check out my pages on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok under the same name, Kareem in My English. Thanks for watching, everyone. Keep working hard, and I'll see you in the next one.